The New York Times put out its list of the 100 greatest films of the 21st century, but we're not going to watch 100, we're going to watch the top 30. So join us on this journey as we watch 30 films in 30 days. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Cinematic Trinity in our series where we're watching 30 films in 30 days. And this time we're talking about Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, another foreign language film, which...
Yay!
All right.
I love watching things with subtitles.
So this film follows two martial arts masters and basically their journey to recover a stolen sword is all I'll say. That's the basic plot, but there's fights galore in this movie. It's very stylized.
Action-packed.
Yeah, it's directed by Ang Lee, who's done films like the Weird Hulk movie and Brokeback Mountain.
That we've just watched.
Yes, as well. Yep. So, yeah, this was an interesting watch, I'd say, because it's a film I've been aware of, never really looked into it hugely. So some bits really surprised me in this film, just how it was choreographed and how it was made. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this film, because it's one of these films that I can appreciate, but I'm probably never going to watch it again. And what I was thinking was, I can't think of a better way to describe this, but when a film's on telly and you'll think, oh, I'll see which bit it's at. If it was at one of like the fight scenes, I'd probably be like, oh, I'll just watch this for a couple of minutes,
Okay.
I'll just watch the fight scene. But if it was on any other scene where they're talking or at the start, I'd be like, oh no, I'm not going to watch that. But if it was the fight scene, then I'd be like, oh, I'll put it on just for the fight scene and then kind of move away because I don't really care about the rest of it.
Well, you did compare it to like a Western film, didn't you? Which I feel like, I know for me, like my granddad loves Western films. So it'd be like walking into the room, it'd be a gunfight and it'd be like, oh, tune into this. But as soon as John Wayne starts talking, am I right? I'm off.
Yeah.
Well, the important question with this film though was, do we watch it in the Mandarin dub?
Well,
no, sorry. Yeah, Mandarin sub, or
subtitles with subtitles,
or the English dub. My God, the English dub is awful.
It is awful. On the DVD, we bought a DVD, and it was absolutely horrendous. But we put it on for a bit because we wanted to eat some lunch while we were watching it. So we watched it around lunchtime. So it's really hard to eat and because you're looking down at your plate and stuff.
You're constantly distracted, aren't you?
Yeah, you just can't read. It's
at least in a cinema, you can do like that with your popcorn.
But when you're eating like lunch in the way that we were eating it, it was different. So we thought we'll put the English dub on for a bit. But it just made me completely lose all faith in what I was watching and trust in what I was watching. Because obviously they were speaking Mandarin. The subtitles were saying one thing, and then the English dub was saying a completely different thing. Or, along a similar vein, but completely different stuff. So it's
some bits completely different.
Some bits were completely different. So it's like, how bad is the translation across the whole piece? Am I actually getting the true nature of the film?
Because one bit was there's a scene where they're talking about this story, and in the Mandarin version with the subtitles, it says there's a story about this boy I think a father whose kids were ill, and then he did this thing. And then the English dub subtitle is still saying that story. It just says in English, oh yeah, it's about a kid whose parents were sick.
Really,
and it was just the complete opposite. I was like, what are you doing?
So it's the way that you can tell that it's the same vein, but the way that it's being interpreted
just completely wrong.
Clearly the dub and then the subtitles have been translated by two different people.
Yeah, it must be some controversy or something that meant, because what was the other big one that got a massive laugh out of us?
No, I was literally dying with laughter, and it was not even that funny. But when we'd already been talking about these subtitles for a little while, we'd already been talking about them, and we had the English dub on. We were already kind of annoyed at the English dub, but we were still watching it at this point. And then something happens, and the woman said, "Oh, I thought it was a bat," and then the subtitles say,
"No, that's the other way around."
No, it was. Well, anyway, let me finish.
Yeah.
the woman says, I thought it was a bat, and the subtitles say, I thought it was a cat. And it was the funniest thing just ever. I was literally like hyperventilating. It was so funny. It's not even that funny.
I mean, well and truly meant, we're going to put the Mandarin back
on. But then even so, like, it could be like what they're saying. And that, do you know what? I think that is what probably hampered it, because when it's subtitles, if there's like a sentence, it kind of condenses it down, so it won't say, oh, it'd be a really good idea if you went over there and did this, because it would be this, that, and the other. The subtitles would just be, go and do this. It's like really like simplified English in a way. So it's like, am I really capturing what they're saying and the emotion behind it? Probably not. So I think that did just take out, but obviously I don't speak Mandarin, so what else am I supposed to do?
No. Yeah. So that was the dub versus sub discussion about this movie. But on the whole, I think for me, I did enjoy it. The fight scenes were just completely not out of this world, but I just God, that sounds very out of this world. But so just cool. Very cool to watch. Like they're stupid. Cool. They're stupid in some ways, because like people are flying all over the place. They're like jumping over each other. There's like the wire work. It just looks so dumb, but like you love it for it. It's just a shot we had to like rewind and watch in slow motion, because it's just someone like Superman flying across the rooftops, and I was like, what the hell is going on? But like the actual like the flow of the combat, the choreography is all really good. There's like some, like, especially like one fight scene where it's like she's trying to jump up on the roof to get away, but it's like the Michelle Yeoh just keeps like yanking her down, like it's just like keeping her grounded. Like that was really cool. And like there's some good sword fights and like other weapons. Like it's all really good combat in this film.
And it becomes kind of quite like heartwarming in the end. I think that the kind of the way that it kind of comes to its conclusion and everything kind of comes together is really lovely. And we were like, oh, almost, if I cared a little bit more, I would have had a tear in my eye, but I just didn't care quite enough to have any tears. Yeah. But no, it was quite a nice like story. Good ending, in the end. I mean, a lot of it is a love story, so it's got everything. It's got action, it's got Mandarin, it's got love in it and romance and whatever. So
the story was good because there's like a central like who took the sword, who's this mysterious fighter. It's all like good mystery. But then like there's a flashback sequence which goes on for like 20 minutes, and I was like, I do not care about this whatsoever.
Yes, I mean, I didn't mind that.
Well, maybe that was the dub issue again, because that's when we switched it to being in English, and it was like, this is awful. Like, but like, I mean, I still didn't care about the pacing. It kind of just killed it for me, like watching this, and I was like, I really don't care about this character who they introduce in the flashback. But what does the New York Times have to say about it?
Yeah, the New York Times. I mean, it doesn't really.
Does Pamela Anderson comment?
No, she doesn't. It just says, appealed to Western and Eastern audiences alike, a rarity at the time, and demolished box office records. Marries acrobatic, aerodynamic martial arts with repressed love and forbidden futures. Showdown between Yeoh's swordswoman and the thief, using a multitude of weapons in a bamboo forest. Oh, seared in memory. It's just basically so really they've not really said much about it. They've just said there's loads of action and there's some really good fight scenes and here's what they are. So I don't know whether it is like, I don't know if it is just that good. Like,
you're struggling to see what
I'm struggling with it, because I know that I probably should like it, and I do appreciate a lot of it. As you say, everything good that you've said about it I completely like agree with. But I just couldn't like get over the line to being like fully in it and enjoying it. And I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
No, I get that.
Certainly not all the way through, like actively thinking, I'm going to put this on. I don't think I will.
I think most of the listings on this just show it's all symbolic, why it's in here. Like, again, I think for a film like this, and we'll see like as we get towards the number one spot for this list, where it's like films crossing from like one nation to like international appeal, like this going from like being like an Asian film to gripping Western audiences. Like, it's a hell of a thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's probably why it's on here, because it's like, look what this film did. Like, everyone,
Yeah.
Western audiences love it. Like, you know, it won, like, I think the Academy Award for Best Foreign Movie.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it takes a lot to do that. Like, I feel like that's why it's very, like, it's in this list so high up because of what it did for...
Because of what it achieved at the time.
Like, when we were looking...
And that's lovely, and it should be recognised, but it doesn't mean that, like, it's as good as, you know, some other films.
No. But I think that's purely, like, when it comes to some of the placements here, there's some story behind it, why it's on this list, why it's so important, sort of thing, which I guess you can argue this film is. And I mean, particularly for, like, Ang Lee, he obviously went from this to do Brokeback Mountain, which we enjoyed a lot more.
Yes.
And you know, it's one of those things, isn't it, where it's like it shows someone's career, like what their best big film was, and all that, like Wes Anderson stuff. You know, it's all there's one of his first films. Here's one of his latest films. That's really good. It's all like it just seems like there's a narrative with some of the stories. It just needs to be swapped
around, because Brokeback Mountain was better than this.
Yeah,
but this is higher up in the list.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and I think both are culturally important in their own ways, you know, for different communities. So I think I could argue, yes, it is one of the greatest films of the 21st century because of that reason.
What it achieved.
So I'm guessing you're saying no, or would you just place it lower down the list, but still say yes?
I think I just place it lower down the list. You know, because it's not because it's in a foreign language, or maybe it is because it's in a foreign language, because the translation is so bad. And I wonder if we had an up-to-date copy or something, or if if there is somebody out there that's done a better translation of it, you know, so I can like trust it. Maybe that would like make me connect with it a little bit more, but I just found I couldn't connect to it. Like when we were watching E2 Mama Tabian, whatever. I felt really connected to all the characters, even though I was watching it with subtitles and even though it was another language. And same with some of the films higher up the list, which are in a foreign language, which we've already seen. I felt really connected, but with this one, I was just struggling to connect with it fully. But it wouldn't surprise me if that's because of the translation just being so poor.
Yeah, which is like
not that I speak Mandarin, but just from
that's like the most
most
technical thing, isn't it? It's not like at fault with like the movie or the actors or
exactly
whatever. It's just like
it's whatever production company or like studio released it at the time and did the translation.
Yeah, I mean, God, if I saw this in the cinema, we're really hankering on the sub versus dub thing. But if I saw this in the cinema and it was like in the English dub, I think I'd walk out.
Yeah, it was horrific.
if it was that bad. What would you score it?
Oh, I don't know, because I know that it's like my enjoyment and my appreciation and knowing that it's good are really like fighting each other here. So I don't know whether to give it a 6 or a 7, because I've been given a lot of things a 7, and a 7 kind of means everything about it is like on the surface good and on paper it's good, but I just didn't enjoy it. So it's a 7, but I feel like maybe a 6 because I think that there are some things wrong with it, but also I don't know whether that's just, I don't know. It's a 6 or a 7. I don't know.
Why don't you do a 6.5?
Yeah, I'll
do a Kieran, give it a 0.5.
I'll do a 6.5.
6.5. I'm going for a 7 just because again there is that enjoyment there. There's some pacing things with the story on it. I don't think for me the dub versus sub thing ruined the film for me sort of thing. It kind of like obviously we had a bit of fun laughing at it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't think this is to the film's detriment sort of thing. Yeah. But I think like you say as well, I did feel a bit slow. So there was the pacing and just it didn't quite grip me as much. But I can see again why it's so important. And I mean the action does just set it above.
Yeah, the action is brilliant. Like the fighting
really is its main selling point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I'm glad I've seen it though.
I'm
glad I've actually watched it.
Yeah, because it is a very famous film, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, there you have it. That was our review. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments though, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.